We have, a few billion on our balance sheet right now. We are profitable.
On the balance sheet of FTX is a line called Trump lose.
I want to be doing something net positive, like with the making money part, I want to be a good actor there.
And Sam was the second biggest donor to Democratic candidates.
We've raised a few $billion over the course of the last couple of years, and we're a profitable business.
I have a duty as a member of the industry to try and get us regulated, to try and move the industry in a more responsible direction.
I'm going to leave it to everybody else to draw their own conclusions about what you're saying here.
Wow. So much more new information to share with you, including Sam Bankman-Fried's political ties. We have more and more reputable companies cutting their ties with FTX. I have an update on where the money went. This FTX hacker, now one of the largest ETH holders in the world. But like always, right now, let's start at the source. We finally have some answers to what this cryptic tweet thread means. You see, somehow Sam Bankman-Fried has time to do interviews during all this. And the New York Times just released their piece, their puff piece, on how his empire fell. And I do mean puff piece. You see, 0 times in this interview with Sam Bankman-Fried did they ask about fraud, did they ask about crime, or mention the words illiquid, stolen, criminal, hidden, backdoor. Nothing like this was asked of Sam. Yet they did manage to keep us abreast of his sleeping habits. What was discovered was this. What happened? What do these cryptic tweets mean? Well, in this interview, right as it was happening, the New York Times brought it up. Shortly before the interview, Mr. Bankman-Fried had posted a cryptic tweet, the word what, and then he tweeted the letter H. Asked to explain, Mr. Bankman-Fried said he planned to post the letter A, then the letter P. It's going to be more than just one word, he said. I'm making it up as I go. So he was planning a series of cryptic tweets, something like that. But why? I don't know, he said. I'm improvising. I think it's time. So basically saying he's just playing games. He just wants attention. He just wants to put these little cryptic tweets out there and let the masses wonder. But what he was actually doing is far more devious. Why is Sam Bankman-Fried deleting tweets and then tweeting to offset his total tweets count? Holy hell. Sam Bankman-Fried is doing this weird tweet thread so that he can delete old tweets without them being captured by the crypto deleted bot. And you know what? It actually worked. LMAO, that's what he's doing. The bot's out there registering the same amount of tweets per day like nothing changed. This is why the tweets are coming out so irregularly. He's combing through his past tweets, searching for incriminating statements, and will only tweet the next letter in his fake thread as soon as he finds a tweet that he needs to delete. So my obvious next question is, what has he been deleting? Well, this he deleted. A tweet from him that cited this article from Bitcoin Insider. This article just citing his quote saying FTX is fine, assets are fine, right before they crashed. And it's also notable that he's deleting tweets where he makes claims about Gap and cash on hand. Also, to be fair, the reduction in tweet count has come from other accounts deleting tweets that Sam later retweeted, i.e. from Tom Brady. Tom Brady's tweets right here, Scaramucci's tweets right here. Sbf only retweeted them, but they have since then taken those down. And how this affects you is we finally have the answers. Sbf today, just today, finally finished this thread. And then, of course, this clip in full of CEO and founder of Citadel, Ken Griffin, on Bloomberg, calling out Sam Bankman-Fried in a not-so-subtle way. Okay, so after Sbf tweeted what and then happened, late last night into today. Now, Visa has since then terminated their debit card program with FTX. The World Economic Forum, of which FTX was a partner, the WEF has now deleted their page. And then, of course, Ken Griffin, CEO of Citadel, highlighting one of the darkest details of the entire FTX situation. How deep does this rabbit hole go? What was FTX?
So that's the scene setter for the question, folks. What I want to know from you, Ken, is what do you make of the spectacular collapse of Sam Bankman-Fried's FTX? Well, okay, so big picture, the crypto market cap today is a fraction of what it was when we first started talking about it. So crypto's not... It was $3 trillion, and now it's well under $1 billion. It's like $800 billion, of which a big part of that's stable coins.
right? So you really move back into a world of Bitcoin and Ethereum as the two dominant cryptocurrencies, both of which actually happen to be CFTC regulated. Look, FTX is one of these absolute travesties in the history of financial markets. I mean,
people will lose billions of dollars collectively.
People are going to lose billions of dollars. And that undermines trust in all financial markets.
But was the fundamental problem that it was a business built on cryptocurrency to begin with, or that it was a business that wasn't adequately regulated, or that it was a business that the venture capital and other investors who put money into FTX didn't adequately, diligence? What's the fundamental problem?
Well, I think the fundamental
issue... Or was
issue,
it just fraud?
So first of all, that's a really big choice of words to use, and I can't go there at this point in time. What we do know is the balance sheet shows a giant black hole. And there's no doubt that customer assets were used to make investment decisions in favor of FTX's shareholders, which didn't work, at the expense of the customers. That's not permitted in American broker-dealers. You can't just use your customer assets to go engage in proprietary trading. That's a huge no-no.
It's a no-no in most parts of the world.
It's in most parts of the world, and that's a good no-no, to be clear, too. Now, with FTX, there are a few points here that we should talk about. The turf war by American regulators has got to end. It's just preposterous that, without naming the agencies, they all dance around who owns what, and the bottom line is American investors have really gotten hurt here, to the tune of hundreds of billions of dollars in decline in market cap and crypto over the last 2 years. I mean, that really strikes at the entire core or essence of what's investor protection all about. The second is that FTX crosses into a zone that all of us are worried about. On the balance sheet of FTX is a line called Trump lose. And Sam was the second biggest donor to Democratic candidates.
I'm going to leave it to everybody else to draw their own conclusions about what you're saying here.
Right? Those are really, really ugly facts when you see a fraud of this magnitude having played out, and you find no regulators were there to prevent it.